To break out of this prison, I trained non-stop to master invisibility. After 4 failed attempts, I finally pulled it off for the first time. The method I used was actually very simple. I just took off my shoes. That way I made no sound when I walked. Then I carefully scanned the cell, looking for the guard's blind spots. When the guard came to inspect the cell, he realized I had vanished, so he rushed to open the door and searched everywhere. What he did not expect was that I was just hiding in the corner. The guard angrily warned me, but I completely ignored him. Instead, I stared at the cell wall, using the gaps in the wooden boards. I climbed up the wall with my bare hands. When the guard came back again, he found that I had disappeared once more. So he started searching again. He thought I would be hiding in the corner again, but after checking everywhere, he still could not find me. Then the guard quickly realized something. He immediately looked above the cell door, and sure enough, he saw me hiding right over his head. This time, the guard was even angrier, so he beat me badly again, and gave me one final warning. But even after the beating and death threats, I showed a smug smile, because I knew my invisibility was working. So to fully master it, I stretched out my arms and waved my hands, constantly adjusting the angles, until I could no longer see my own hands. Since human vision only covers 180 degrees, I used that to test the limits of eyesight, and hide inside the visual blind zone. That is how I achieved invisibility in a real sense. After daily training, my invisibility became extremely refined. So when the guard came to inspect again, I vanished right before his eyes, but when he angrily walked in, he found only a single piece of clothing left in the cell. So he began scanning the surroundings. Then he looked up at the wall again. Still he could not find me. What he did not know was that I was standing right behind him. I copied every step and movement he made. Whatever he did, I did the same. That is when the guard began to panic, because he could feel I was nearby, but could not find me at all. Soon the guard noticed something was wrong, because a human shadow suddenly appeared on the floor. Seeing the contemptuous grin on my face, the guard angrily swung his baton at me and beat me like a maniac. But even then, I kept my smug smile. After this failure, I deliberately drew an eye on my palm and imagined myself from the guard's perspective. This time, I did not just copy his movement, I even tried to predict his thoughts. After relentless training, invisibility became part of me. Now not even my shadow could be found in the cell. Soon the guard came to inspect as usual and found that I was gone again. So he stormed inside in rage. But no matter how hard he searched, he could not find me anywhere. Even the shadow on the floor was gone. Before he could react, I suddenly slapped him hard. In the next second, I knocked him to the ground. Then I beat him out of the cell. After this, the guard was completely terrified, because I was like a ghost, impossible to see and impossible to touch. But before I could escape the prison, my sentence had already ended. So after my release, I went to the home of the person I love, even though I knew they already had a partner. Now that I had invisibility, the 3 of us entered a relationship like never before.